Welcome to hole number 1 of the Eastern Odyssey tournament. Now, setting up on this par 4 from the Kohong Resort course with 3 top and about 1.5 to 2 bars of right spin. You could certainly use 3 full bars of right spin if the wind demands it, and a bit more top spin if you really feel like it. But this sets up beautifully. I've got that red ring just touching the rough at the max distance of this club. So if you've got a quarterback 10, keep in mind you'd be set up a little bit further. And I'm using like the middle or the outer part of that wall, the adjustment circle wall, to give it some right curl. It all depends on the wind, guys. This is a general video. You're going to see a lot of drops, but this is designed to teach you how to play through these different holes and give you some ideas of how you can get the drops. I'm going to show you how to drop this hole 2 different ways. The first way here is with the sniper, and we're going to play it as a rough bump. 3 bars of right spin and about 3.5 bars of top spin. I could have sat right at max there, but I come back just a little bit here. This is some pretty old footage from the Kohong Resort. This course has been around for a very long time. Just got that spin to the pin, and we're going to play this one at 0% max here. This one looks to be downhill, but it plays very nicely, as you'll see here, at 0%. I got that red ring touching the side of the rough and just got that ball guide right to the pin. You're going to line it up here, hit perfect, and you're going to get some good results. Now, I know you can play the left-hand side on this hole. You can try to go for the green, whatever works for you, but I love the consistency of playing it down here. I think you will too. All right, so hole number 1, we played the drive the same, and the second shot now, if you're not into that rough bump, my friend David, that's for you. We're going to play this one with like 3.6 bars of backspin and 2 bars of left spin. And you see how that ball guide's a little bit funny. You just have to move it a little ways away from the rough and line this one up to the pin. It also plays at 0% max distance here. And of course, depending on the wind, always the wind, you have to make adjustments. You have to make tweaks. Don't take this guide as, don't take it verbatim. You need to go and make some adjustments according to the wind. The nice thing about the front tee is that those adjustments are usually, reasonably minor to get you some excellent results. If you have the same wind, though, this is going to come in very nicely, a little warm, but right on line. Hole number 2, this part 3 is very straightforward. I'm setting up here with a navigator and a backbone. 4.5 bars of backspin, 0.5 bars of left spin. With this little bit of tailwind, you can see that we're just reaching onto that final fairway. And so I play this one at 10% max. Now, I thought about pushing it up, but that little bit of carry you get is going to help you clear the rough and bounce nicely on the fairway. I think you'll like the result of this shot very much. Clean, simple setup, and we're going to adjust there 10% max. And as you can see, I may be touching the bottom teeth of overpower, but nothing of any major. Nicely past the rough, beautifully into the hole. Get in the hole. Let's go. Hole 3, this par 5, we're back on the Kohong Resort course. 4.5 top. Now, because of the headwind, I'm using a Kingmaker, but you could certainly play this with a Titan if you've got a tailwind or a crosswind. And the 2 bars of side spin would be, of course, just fine. Now, nothing crazy here. We're just lining this one up to get it down the middle of the fairway. I am adjusting slightly into overpower there. I mean, I could have played it back a little bit, but you don't have much reach depending on the level of your club. So I'm giving this to the bottom of the circle just before circle break overpower, hitting perfect. And, this is where a little bit of practice comes into play so that you can get accustomed to the tournament wins. It's not about massive distance on this shot. The fairway is narrow. Be careful. You don't want to hit the rough here because you've got a good distance still to carry. This distance here, as you can see, I'm reaching out. If you've got max clubs, you can do a rough bump there. Keep that in mind, but I think this bounce over shot is perfectly acceptable. The wind, of course, is still pushing into our face, but we play here 2 bars of topspin. Now, about 1.5 bars of left spin. It will depend on the distance of your drive, the angle of the approach that you're going to have. So keep that in mind once again. 10%, and I think I play this one at mid distance. Yeah, a little peek at the notes keeps me fresh. Oh, and speaking of the notes, don't forget to check out the webpage, erelicgaming.com. I do have free notes based directly on this video that you can use to get things started, that you can, work from and tweak from, and hopefully get some drops from. Lots of drops in this video. Ooh, this one just comes in a little bit off, but we're going to see quite a few more. Hole number 4, once again, a very straightforward par 3, especially from the front tee here. This was the very first shot that I took here when I was recording here originally. Now, I know I'm right at min there. I move it up. I mean, in my mind, I probably should have played this at mid, but it seems to work out very, very nicely. I give it 0.5 bars of topspin, and I'm just a couple of rings up from the min distance line here. And I've got the backbone and the navigator ball, and this one, you know, comes in really, really nice. I do like trying to use long irons that have more ball guide. If you've got a grizzly in a decent level, you know, 6+ or something, you should definitely be using that even from the front tee. But as you can see, this one is right on the pin. Nothing wrong with that at all. Hole number 5, this is a classic par 5 for me. Set up on the right-hand side all the time. 4.5 top, 2 bars of left spin. I know, you see this older footage before we had the side spin values we have now. Max top, max left here, okay? Setting it up here with the yellow ring a little bit too close to the rough. I mean, you should probably play half the red ring in the left rough, and then instead of giving it middle wall, just give it outer wall left curl here. 10% max on that adjustment, nothing crazy. Quick little bounce here, rolling it up to the second fairway. You're looking to get it just to those shadows if you can. But of course, with the lower level clubs, this one comes in a little bit shorter. And that's why I have the Viper recommended here for a real rookie bag with a low level sniper. You are not going to have the reach, and you'll have to use even more overpower than you see me use here. Viper doesn't have a lot of topspin at low level, and I don't remember if it has that much at high level either. You know, you just want to play the club that's going to get you there is really the bottom line. So I give it what we've got, like a 1.5 bar top, a little tiny bit of right spin there, countering the wind. And I do have to give this one like circle break or slightly more overpower. But you will notice that this is still a very nice result at that 10% max adjustment. It gives us the LB. We're looking for the drops, and that's exactly what we're getting. Hole number 6, this par 4 is very, very short. Look at it with the power 1 ball. You could still do some damage if you played it with that navigator, and you could probably get yourself, you know, to max wedge range or something like that. But bump it up to the P5 ball, 4.5 top, 2 bars of left spin, and bring your longest driver. You know, if you've got great wind and better clubs, you might even be able to stretch it right to that second fairway and not even need to use overpower. There's no excuse, okay, not to get an eagle here. This is as close to a must drop as we generally have from the front tee. So max overpower, and do try to hit perfect here. I give it a little click of left curl. I probably could have gone as much as outer wall or slightly more left curl to get this one a little more online. But at the end of the day, I knew I wasn't going to quite make the green, but we sure come awfully close, don't we? Second shot, you're going to play this with your favorite wedge. I, of course, love the Endbringer, and I recommend you check it out. If you haven't played with that Endbringer, you should probably check out the link in the description to the Endbringer School video from our old friend, Mr. Jared A. One of the most helpful learning Golf Clash videos there is. It will change the game for you. I play this at 20% at slider. I pick about 35%. You could have played it at mid, and, you know, the difference isn't going to be that much with the low level wind. Clean adjustment, exacting precision is what you're looking for. The best of times, the worst of times, all the time when you're playing Golf Clash. Perfect away. You know what that means. Get in the hole, get the eagle. This is going to be a pretty low scoring tournament. Hole number 7, this Kohong Resort par 3 is much more difficult than the first two. Playing it with a navigator and a sniper, I'm using 3.8 bars of backspin, 1 bar of right spin. And I've got that second bounce on the fringe, so you'll notice I'm going to pull it back here and like half that blue ring in the rough. But that's only with the level 6 sniper. Or if you have a level 10, you know, or a lower level than this, the ring sizes will change. So you have to keep that in mind. This is not a standard size sniper, you know what I mean? So I make my adjustment, 45% min. Sometimes it plays at mid, depending on the wind angle. So, you know, you always have to practice. You always got to see how it's going to be. But this one, even though it's more difficult, I do have a good result here, and I really hope that you do too. Hole number 8, this is a little bit longer, slightly more challenging par 4. 4.5 top, 1 right spin here with the extra mile and the navigator, but nothing we can't handle. 10% max is going to be the adjustment. You'll see we're playing on the right-hand side at the top of this little circular fairway patch. Nothing crazy, just to get this one in play. I give it half a ball of right curl and do hit perfect on all the shots. Keep that in your notes if you need to, just to remember that every shot counts. So take your time. don't stress. You can hit perfect. You got to tell yourself that. Keep it positive and you'll be amazed at just how much better your game can really be. Second shot, playing here with your favorite long iron from the front tee. It's almost always the backbone for me. Set this one up at 10% mid, and we're going to use 2 bars of backspin. That's it. Straightforward. Got that yellow to red ring somewhere down near the bottom of the rough and lining it up directly at the pin. The nice thing with these low winds is you don't have to adjust nearly as much. And if you have to pull down into that bunker, you're going to have to double check this, but you'll have to push up, you know, a ring or so. Line it up in the middle. Do go ahead. Get that perfect ball every single time. Bouncing it once, twice, thrice, and in the pin right where it needs to be. Hole number 9, take careful note of the drive. 7 top, 2 bars of left spin here, and we're going to use the big topper and a Titan ball. I've got half that red ring in the left rough, and the middle of the bullseye is kind of lined up near the bottom of the bunker. No big deal. Clean 10% maximum distance adjustment here, and we're going to use max left curl. Now, I don't know how this will play with every single level of big topper. You might need to check it out. You might have to play a little bit less topspin, and you know, because you won't have as much curl. But the idea is here to get it as far left as possible because we need a good angle of approach on the second shot. There's some trees down there, and they will be in your way if you don't get far enough down. You see they are there right now. I set up with the sniper on the second shot, 2 back, 2 right, and we're going to play this one at 15% max distance. And I truly think the only difference between the drop here is the 0.2 additional because I pulled this one over the yellow ring. I think what you should do is just pull it from the white ring with this adjustment and you'll put yourself in the hole. Guys, thank you so very much for watching this video. If you made it this far, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. We're always making new Golf Clash content, playing all the tournaments live, making notes, having fun, hanging out with all you beautiful people. Good luck to you in the Eastern Odyssey tournament. Thanks again for watching and good luck.